Hello, everyone. Hello. It is Wednesday. It is our success story day. I am so excited to be here with all of you. My name is Debbie Waidl. I am a migraine freedom expert, and I am here today with a very special guest. Brenda has joined us today. She is a over 2 year graduate of the Freedom from Migraine Method complete program, and Brenda is joining us to share her experience in finding migraine freedom. Now, before we get started and before I let Brenda say a quick hello to everyone, I do just want to make sure that we are live. We are streaming. Everyone can hear me. So if you are over there on Facebook, can somebody give me a quick hello, a like, give me a reaction so that I know you're there. I think I see Valentina and Nicole. I just always like to make sure we're good to go. There we go. We are here. We did it, Brenda. We did it. And hopefully you guys can't hear Patches in the background. We now have 8 deer walking across the the yard. So he is yelling at them and telling them to leave. Well, hello, ladies. Anyone that's popping on, just say hi. Brenda, thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate your time today.
It's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to be back after over 2 years to tell everyone how wonderful you are.
Oh, well, let's start with how wonderful you are. I'm going to close my door because I can hear him barking like crazy. Why I do that? Do you want to start by telling them a little bit about your journey before we met each other? You know, what your migraines were like. And I'll be back in 1 second.
Yes. So I had migraines when I was younger. Of course, they put me on birth control because that's supposed to solve everything. And so I didn't have them for a number of years. And then about 8 years ago, I started having them frequently, regularly. And at first, I just started taking Excedrin migraine, because that's what everybody takes that has a migraine. And I was a teacher at that time, so all the teachers had that in their drawer.
Of course.
And but then it was like getting worse, like almost every day. It was like I was reaching for the bottle of migraine medicine. I was reaching, and it just didn't get better. And then it got to the point where, I could crawling across the floor because I was in pain. I was hiding in a dark room because I couldn't stand the light. I was throwing up because the pain was so excruciating. So I went to the doctor. Well, the first time I told my doctor that I was having migraine, she's like, "Well, you live in Colorado, so you're at an elevation where it's going to give you migraines." And I'm like, "Well, that was not helpful."
No, that was not.
So when I went back, I saw a different doctor, and I was telling this to her. And of course, you need to get an MRI, you need to do all these things. And they gave me a triptan.
Mhm.
And that was like, oh, that was good stuff.
Yeah, it's almost like Christmas Day for a little while, right?
Yeah, for a little while. And it
Yeah.
was. It was like, I can handle life now that I have a triptan. Well, then you start losing it. After I had COVID in 2020, I just couldn't get rid of the migraines. So my doctor put me on a preventative that was meant for depression so that I could sleep better, because sleep helps everything.
Yeah.
Um, and she went from a very low dose to a very high dose really quick because it wasn't solving my migraines. And the funny thing is, even when I got the triptans, no one told me that I was only supposed to take so many a month. And I was like going through my 3 month pack in a month and a half. And I couldn't understand why they're like, you can't get any more. And I'm like, what do you have to come in and see us? So it was just crazy. I tried, they chiropractic, acupuncture, massage, which made it worse. I had brain stimulation, anything. I mean, my husband would tell people I had migraines, and they would give him suggestions, and then we would go try it
Yeah.
because he wanted me better.
And you're
Um,
desperate, right? I remember that feeling of like desperation. And I know when I say this, people think I'm joking, but literally when I had migraines every day, if someone had told me to go on a busy street corner, dance naked, and that would take my migraines away, you better believe I would have done it.
yep.
And it sounds funny, but I was in so much pain and every day I'm like, what do I care? You
Well,
know?
not only are you in pain, but you check out of life. Being
Yeah.
on an antidepressant like that, I was like a zombie the whole time. And my husband never started the morning with "Good morning, what are we going to do today?" It's like, how are you doing today? Are you okay? Because he could see on my face, A, that I was checked out, or
Yeah.
beef that I was in pain. Those are my two options.
Yeah. And he's trying to take the
So,
temperature of the day so he knows how to, I don't want to say handle you, but like what your day together is going to be like. What does he need to do
right.
for you? What are you guys going to be able to do together? What's the temperature of Brenda today?
Yes. Yes. And not only that, he was in pain watching me in pain.
Hmm.
It just hurt him so terribly bad,
Yeah.
that he, was beside himself. So anyway, I had signed up for Women's Migraine Freedom. I looked at all different kinds of migraine programs on the internet, and most of them, I would do reviews because none of them were cheap.
Hmm.
And so I would look at reviews and they all had bad reviews. So I signed up for Women's Migraine Freedom thinking that, okay, here's a place where women come and they tell each other new things they're trying
Yep.
or how the new thing's working. And I didn't think that much about it, but then one of the staff reached out to me. It was the end of a 3-day migraine that had repeated itself for months,
Mm.
3-day migraine for months. And, just asked us, is there anything we can do to help you? And I was like, I would have been you. Can you tell me to go stand on the corner naked and start dancing
Will
so I
that
get rid of
work?
this migraine?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm like, yes, how can you help me? And so she set me up with a breakthrough call with one of your staff. And we had that breakthrough call. And then I scheduled another follow up with her with my husband
Hmm.
because I wanted him to hear what it was about to see
Yeah.
if he would support me in it, how much we were going to be investing, if he would support me in it. And so we had the call. It was a really great call, very inspiring, and then you get to this is how much it costs. And I'm like, I've spent that much before, but I want to spend it again.
Right.
So I asked just for a break. Can you just give us a few minutes so we can talk about it? And
Hmm.
the minute she got off, he turns to me and he says, you need to do this program. He
Mm.
says it doesn't feel like a band-aid. It feels like a solution. And so and I was hesitant for many reasons. I was going to leave in a couple weeks to drive across the country to see my grandchildren. I
Mm.
was going to go on a trip to my bucket list trip to Israel in September. And I'm like, do I want to invest this time now because I have all these things coming up? And I was told you'll feel much better if you do.
Yeah.
At least by the time you get there, you'll have a few months under your belt. So we did it. And I can honestly say it was the best decision I've ever made pertaining to my health because it not only helped my migraines, it helped a number of other things that I didn't even realize were going on in my life because I was in so much pain thinking everything was about the migraine.
Yeah.
So, 2.5 years later, I am just still relieved that I made the investment, but not only the money, but it takes time and it takes a
Mhm.
commitment. And I'm
Yeah.
glad I did those things. And the support I got that I could still get if I reached out is just phenomenal to be in a group of women who know exactly what you're going through, even if they're coming at it from different angles with different anomalies in their life.
Hmm.
Um, we all know the pain of a migraine, and we all, if you get through the program successfully, know the relief of the
Yeah.
pain. I'm no longer on the preventative. As a matter of fact, when I told my doctor I want off the preventative, she looked at my dosage and she says, "You're on a really high dosage of that. You prescribed it."
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's so nice to wake up feeling refreshed and not gloomy. And it has made a huge difference in me and my husband's time together. I find myself dancing around the house, and just really enjoying life.
And that's the key, right? I mean, yes, we all want our health. Yes, we all want to live healthy for a long time. But I think the key word is we want to live, right? We just don't want
Yeah.
to manage and survive. We don't want to get up in the morning and have to have our spouse kind of take the temperature of the room to see, Is this a good day or a bad day? Can we actually do something fun today or can we not? Are we going to be able to go on this vacation or not? We want to know that each day we can live it the way we want to because we feel good.
Yeah.
Your health is everything. I mean, I think that way too many women forget that. And trust me, ladies, anyone watching, I lived decades thinking that I was invincible, that I could do whatever the hell I wanted to do. I didn't worry about my health. I'm like, I'm 20, I'm 30, I'm going to live to 90, but then the older you get, the more you realize, sure, I could, like my grandmother was alive in her 90s, but she wasn't living. She wasn't living, and
Yeah.
I don't want to be that way. And I think the majority of us don't want to be that way, right? We want to be able to live and enjoy it. So um, I love that you say that. And I love that the program not only helps with migraines, but helps with all those other things, because what we're trying to do is get to the root cause, which is chronic inflammation. And when we do that, all those other symptoms start going away. You mentioned you were on a med for sleep, and I'm assuming your sleep is much better now.
Oh yeah. It's so nice to go to bed and go to sleep. And if I wake up to go to the bathroom, I go right back to sleep,
How many of
and
you
then,
watching do that? I want you ladies to tell me, oh, Chantel, you're on. We haven't talked to you in a while. Natalie, Barb, Cheryl, you've got quite a following over here, ma'am. It's so good to see everybody here. So how many people watching right now get a good night's sleep? I would love to know. Because that is a nice, happy side effect of working on your chronic inflammation. It is one of the last things sometimes that gets better, but it's so nice when you can lay down in that bed and know you're not going to toss and turn for 8 hours.
oh,
So
it,
nice.
it is. And even, on those occasions, life happens and you're up thinking about, oh my gosh, especially just getting up for the holidays.
Yeah.
How many, oh, tomorrow's we got this event going. Am I ready? Do I have all this together? And what do I need to prepare for it?
Yeah.
Um, you have tools to make those noises turn off.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And so the many, many tools that you receive from the program and, the six key pillars is just amazing how they each are so strong on their own, but
Mhm.
integral to getting you to the end result.
Yeah, and I think the key to those is that each one of you is different, right?
Yes.
You know, you just shared your story, before, after. So now I kind of want to shift gears a little bit to what I hear a lot, women, and you mentioned it, afraid, not necessarily to spend money, but afraid to spend more money because nothing else for them has worked. Afraid that this again is going to be another thing that fails. And what I hear from a lot of women is, I'm different. Well, my whole family has migraines, so I'm going to have migraines. I have autoimmunity, so I'm going to have migraines. I only get one migraine a month, so you can't help me. I only get them around my cycle, so I have to focus with my GYN on migraines, not with you, right? Everyone's got their different way that migraines present. They've had them for a different length of time. They're different ages, right? We have a college student in our group right now, and I think we have somebody who's 75. So, can you just kind of explain to everyone a little bit how the protocol that we use and in the Freedom from Migraine methods, why that doesn't matter, you know, and how the experience you had of being able to see everybody, everyone's different, but everyone was able to get some support.
Yeah, when I started the program and started interacting with people and looking, at the platform and going to coaching calls, I was like, oh, everybody here is way sicker than I am. And maybe this is just over my head and, what am I going to get out of this?
Hmm.
But then as I started going through, I remember I took that first trip to go see my grandchildren. I was with my granddaughter, and I woke up one morning and I could feel the head pressure starting. And I'd been in the program for a few weeks, and so I started doing some of the mindfulness breathing. And I sat there and I breathed. I did some deep breaths, and the head pain was gone. It was like magic. And I remember posting, "Oh my gosh, this is like magic! It's so exciting!" You know, because it doesn't happen. You get that head pressure, and you think, "Here we go,
Yeah.
here we go. This is going to be a hard day."
Yep. Yep.
And it was just so exciting. But going through the program and interacting with all these different women and seeing how the program works for us individually. Like my struggles could be more on this part of the program, where somebody else's could be this part of the program.
Exactly.
But you have to focus on that. And even after the program and when I went into DZ, I mean, I was still having issues,
Mhm.
but it was what I found out was the underlying stress in my life, the
Mhm.
stuff that I didn't even know I was bearing
Yeah.
that was preventing me from moving on. And you helped me get to the point where I knew that I needed extra help in that area.
Mhm.
And I got it. And it just opened everything up for me. And so I love how you work individually on coaching calls, how your success coaches work with people on the platform in
Mhm.
the Freedom from Migraine Method. They also help people on the Women's Migraine Freedom and in the community. Um, that you have people who have experienced migraines and not just heard about them, that have gone through the program and understand the program and how they work individually with everybody to
Yeah.
get them to their success.
But that is the key. A cookie cutter approach. You guys have already done it, right? You're doing the conventional medicine cookie cutter approach. I mean, Brenda pretty much explained it perfectly. You start with the Excedrin. When the Excedrin doesn't work, you go to the triptan. When the triptan doesn't work, you go to the preventative. When the preventative doesn't work, then depending on who you are and where you live, it's going to be either Botox next or infusions or, it just
Right.
goes from there. But that's the cookie cutter approach. That is the management approach. Doesn't work, right? Even going online and seeing an article about um, how you deal with stress, right? You can read that article, but what if none of that resonates with you? You mentioned deep breathing, Brenda, that works for you. Somebody else in the program might be like, oh my God, if I have to deep breathe one more time, it's going to drive me nuts. But they do something else. There's something else that works for them. And it's really about having this beautiful foundation of the 6 key areas, but then taking each one and helping each person figure out for themselves how that works for them.
Mhm.
That's where the success comes in. And
Mhm.
that doesn't happen. I would love to say that could happen in the Women's Migraine Freedom Group with 6,000 women in there. But it doesn't. That's a great starting place, right? That's a great starting place. But as Brenda knows, we're available to our clients every single day, 24/7, you know, 365 days a year. I checked in on Christmas to make sure everyone was okay. That's the support that you get so that you can individualize this for you. Brenda, do you think, and I didn't tell you I was going to ask you this, but do you think that if I just gave you a book with all this, what do you think would have happened? If I just gave you a book, I didn't coach you, you didn't have a group of women supporting you, what do you think would have happened?
When you sign up for the program, when you anything you do for the migraines, it's like, can you just wave the magic wand and make them go away? I remember one Christmas, my husband got me one of those helmets to massage your head, and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's worse. You know, um, you just want the magic pill that will make it go away, and unless you are committed to working through it and getting the coaching. Just a book is not enough. It's a great read.
Absolutely.
You'll probably get some great tips from it,
Mhm.
but how to fine tune it to your needs, to my needs, it would never happen. And that's what got me to where I wanted to be. Because
Yeah.
when I started, it was very intimidating. The program was like, I got to read all this and listen. And where's the magic wand? I thought
Yeah.
it was just going to get a quick fix.
Yeah.
That's what you want. But
Yeah.
working through it and seeing the progression of getting better and better and better
Yep.
was, and it's still, I'm getting better and better and
Mhm.
better, is just a lifelong process, because this is life. And
Absolutely.
you give us an opportunity to live life in a more meaningful way.
Yeah. This isn't, as you keep saying, it's not a quick fix. It's not a one-day thing. It's not something you do and you stop.
Right.
Can you maybe change your protocol around a little bit as you heal more, maybe loosen up on a few things and, get to maybe have that piece of cake and that glass of wine or that kind of thing? Absolutely. But I will never not have a day where I don't put my health first.
Right. And I'm much more conscientious about it now.
Mhm.
I'm much more conscientious. If I feel something happening in my body, not necessarily even pain,
Mhm.
I use I use the tools that you've given me to figure out how to get through it.
Yeah. Get through the
And even
cold
like
faster.
sometimes I exercise too hard and I pull a muscle and I think, oh, that's inflammation in my body. Now I have to be careful in all the other areas because I have inflammation already starting in my body.
Yeah.
I would have never thought about anything like that
Yeah.
before. I would have never put those two dots together.
Yeah. And that inflammation is perfect, right? We need that to repair. But as you said, if you start throwing sugar into your diet, drinking alcohol, not sleeping well, like being a total couch potato during that time, that healing is going to take much longer.
Right.
Then if you use all those tools and then that healing goes a lot faster, we get out of acute inflammation and you're back to normal, which that's the
Yeah.
great part. That's the great part of this is it's not just, yes, we want your migraines gone, ladies. Of course, that's, top and center. But wouldn't it be nice to know you could get through a winter without getting sick every time somebody walks by you and sneezes?
Yes.
Wouldn't it be nice to know that you're not exhausted, that you don't have that brain fog, that maybe you don't have to worry as much about autoimmunity in the future? Maybe you can actually go to the bathroom every single day and not be constipated and unbuttoning your pants. All of
Right.
those kind of things that we all have gone through, all
Yes.
of us. Um, hey, Beth and Lisa and Chelsea. So, ladies, as we're kind of finishing up here, please let me know if you have any questions for myself or for Brenda below. Please let us know. Brenda, is there any last thing that you want to say to the group before I ask you one more question today?
Well, I don't know what your question's going to be, but I do want to tell you about my 5 week trip
Oh,
that I went on last year. And it was a cruise. It was a repositioning cruise. It was wonderful. It was awesome. Did I have fun? Oh yeah, I had fun. I packed my bags with all the leftover Triptans I have because I thought I'm going to have fun. I have to take them.
you
It
didn't take
was,
one.
I didn't take one. It was so amazing. But you know what? What I was doing, I was walking a lot. Laughing a lot. I was enjoying myself. I was watching what I was eating. Did I eat perfect? No, I didn't. But I did. I ate pretty perfect because I knew,
Yep.
this was my regimen.
Yep.
Um, and so even the long flight, because I had to fly to Sydney, it was a 14-hour flight, no migraine. And when I first took my bucket list trip to Israel, I only got migraines on the flights, the
Wow.
long flights. And then the rest, it was wonderful. Well, maybe I got one migraine on that trip because I decided to have a glass of wine.
But that was like 2 months into the program, right?
It
You
was
weren't
two
even in the
months into the
program that
program.
long.
It was just I started in June. This was in September, so maybe it was 3 months.
But
But
that's still pretty amazing.
but now I go on flights, long flights, and I don't get the migraines. For one thing, I have the tools. I know the protocol. I know how to prevent them. I come prepared. Um, and that first flight, I realized it doesn't matter how much people tell you, you're never prepared.
Yeah.
Now I'm prepared. Now I'm prepared. And so just prepared me for different things in my life to really enjoy. Like I see my grandkids. I'm not like, okay, there's got to be a day where I have to sit out.
Yep.
Now I just go through it. No problem.
Yeah, you get to live your life. You get to live your life.
And you get to share your life. You
Yeah.
get to share your life. Now I don't walk into a room and have somebody say, "Oh, how are your headaches? Do you have a headache?"
Yeah.
It's like, no, they don't ask me that anymore. It's 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 nice not to have that label on you
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah. And I love the fact that because you did this program, because you feel better, my team has been blessed because you are part of our team and you are an integral part of our team because you get to help us share hope with everyone. You are the one that gets to look at these kind of interviews and gets to hear what other women say. And, you know, you really get that opportunity to see that this works not just for you, but for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of women. And we greatly appreciate the fact that, you can share that and help share that with everyone. And I don't have to worry about you having a migraine. I don't have to worry about you calling sick.
Yeah, it's really awesome because after the program I stayed in the I can't even remember what it was called back then, the alumni program.
Yep, the alumni membership.
Yeah, I stayed in because when I got done, I wasn't ready to float on my own. I
Mhm.
still felt like I needed somebody to hold my hand a little bit.
Mhm.
And now I mean, I watch these interviews and I mean, when I watch them, it's like, oh, that's the part we need. That's the part. That's a good part, or this is the part that will help somebody else, because I go through the Women's Migraine Freedom and the Freedom from Migraine and just to see what's going on and what might help. And then I'm like, oh, that will help somebody. So I can make a video clip of it, but it keeps me connected too. And I love that.
Well, and that is the key that you said, what is going to help someone because you're not on here today for your health. I'm not on here today for my health. We're on here for everyone that's watching for your health because we want you to realize that there's another way. I think the key thing that women say to me all the time is, I have tried it all. But what you've tried, again, are all management tools. We want you to put the management tools away and we want you to actually try something that gets to the root cause of the problem. And this is probably, if you work with us, it's probably the first time you've ever done that. You've done all the meds, the supplements, you've even gone to the chiropractors, the acupuncturists, and I know those are alternative medicine people, right? But that's still not getting to the root of the problem. That's still a management fix and a Band-Aid fix. So we want you to be able to actually get to the root. Um, which kind of leads me into the last question I wanted to ask you. So again, I know one of the hardest things for women when they come into this group is the thought of doing one more thing. That is the hardest thing for them. How can I join the Freedom from Migraine method? How can I go to my spouse and say, I need X amount of dollars to invest in my health again when nothing else has worked, honey, but maybe this will, maybe this will. Can we give this a try? So, Brenda, if there were a way back before you joined the Freedom from Migraine method, right? I mean, obviously, we know right now you're biased to the Freedom from Migraine method. That's what you do. But before you knew about it, if there was a way for you to spend $2.39 a day to learn about migraines, and after a month, totally cancel if it was something you didn't like, but for a month, spend 239 or $2.39 a day to see if this was something that was right for you, how would that make you feel? Is that something you would do?
Absolutely. Because I wouldn't have, for one thing, I wouldn't have had to have my spouse buy into it. My husband would have supported me either way. But
Mm-hmm.
even he probably would have said, well, why don't you try this
Mm-hmm.
first before we make the investment to see if it's something that you're going to do,
Mm-hmm.
that you're going to commit to. And believe me, going into it, just like you said, you're just like,
Yeah.
unless you can produce the magic wand to show me that you can just tap the screen and I'm going to be better, I don't know that I want to spend any more
Yeah.
money on just the same old thing and getting no results. And sometimes it even made it worse.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just a great avenue to get your feet in the door, really connect with people, see people's triumphs, and
Mm-hmm.
also be able to put yourself out there and
Yeah.
get the coaching, that one-on-one coaching that you will need eventually anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's just the little things. It was that one little deep breath morning where I felt like the whole program was going to be magical after that, that helped me say, I'm all in now. This may be your step to be all in now. Because once you're all in, ta-da, you don't need a magic wand.
I love that. I love that. So for everyone who's watching, what we're talking about for the $2.39 is I spent the last probably 6 months really working hard at our Migraine Freedom Community membership. So this membership has been created as an avenue for you to learn more about us, before you take that big leap, before you 100% commit to a Freedom from Migraine Method program. Some of you are 100% ready, and I get it. Some of you are just like, nope, I'm ready. Let's go. Let's get this done. I need my migraines gone. Amazing. Then you can jump right into one of the programs. But if you're sitting there thinking, I don't know. First of all, like I love what you just said, Brenda. I'm not sure if I can do it. Will I commit to it? Will I actually do the work? I'm not sure I want to spend more money. My spouse doesn't want me to spend more money, which let's face it, ladies, we can't always blame the spouses, because it's not kind of understandable. You dump thousands here, thousands there, and they're like, they don't understand the difference. Plus, they don't understand the pain. They can't unless they have it. So we've created this membership, and right now for the month of January, we do have our founding member price for the first 30 people that would like to register. We already have 10 spots gone, so there are 20 left, and it's only $67 a month. So it is literally $2.39 a day. That is less than a Starbucks. I went to Starbucks yesterday just to get a latte. It was $6.50, and I got a tall. That's the small one. I was like, all right, I obviously don't go to Starbucks very often and pay for it myself, but so that could have, if I had had migraines, that could have given me 3 days of migraine support right there. So if you are on the fence about how this can help you, this is the best way to go. The membership opens up February 1st. So grab your spot now. We'll make sure we drop the link in below so that you can grab it from below this video. Make sure you're one of those 20. After that, the price does go up to $97 a month. But even at $97 a month, you are getting weekly coaching. You are getting Q&As every month. You are getting live trainings every month. You are getting experts coming in. We're going to do expert interviews every quarter. You are getting guides full of resources and trainings for you. I think there's 6 guides total that are chock full. You are getting discounts on a lot of our services. You are getting free access to a lot of our trainings. So in 1 month, you are saving hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars. I mean, I can't even begin to tell you all the resources that are in there. So make sure you click the link so that you can see it all. And you can see all the women that we have helped and support in the same way. I just think it's a nice, no-brainer, no worry way to check us out. Because the worst thing that happens is you decide at the end of the month it's not for you. And if it's not, please let me know why. We want to make sure that this works for everyone. But if you have to, we understand. Check it out and then just do what you got to do. But we are here to help you end your migraines. Looks like Valentina's dropping the link in there for me. Thank you so much, Valentina. Greatly appreciate it. And we'll keep you posted, everybody, on how many spots are left throughout the month. So if you really want some time to think about it, want to talk with your spouse, we'll make sure we put posts in every week. Because again, if you want to do this, I want to make sure it works for you. All right. So that we honor everyone's time, I want to wrap this up. So first of all, I want to say thank you to everyone that is out there watching today. There's so many of you here. I love the fact that you've jumped on to hear about Brenda's story, to have the opportunity to give yourself some time and to really honor your health. And Brenda, I can't thank you for everything that you do, not only for jumping on today to share your story, but for all you do for the company and all you do to give women hope that they too, like you, can find their migraine freedom.
Well, you're welcome, but thank you to you and your staff. The team that you put together are here for women to end that suffering. They're not just doing this for money, for fame. They're doing this because they want to pass on the knowledge to help you have a migraine-free life.
Yeah, they are amazing, aren't they? We have a
Yeah.
great team of success coaches. All of the women have done the program. That is a requirement of mine. If I have coaches, they will have gone through this program. They will have had migraines. You will not have anybody coaching you that hasn't walked a mile in your shoes. It just won't happen. And they've all kind of covered the gamut. They've all tried everything. We actually had a meeting one day, not to make this go longer, but I met with my success coaches one day and we wrote down everything that we had all tried. It was pages and pages and pages. So between all of us, ladies, we have tried it all. From the meds to the piercings to the hysterectomies to, all of it. So we get where you're coming from and we can help. We can help. All those ladies too had to retire due to their migraines. And instead of going back to their day jobs, they're here for you. They're here for you, which is, I'm so fortunate. You guys are all amazing. I have a team of 10 And all of you are amazing. So thank you again for being here. And everybody, please go post below. Let us know how we can help. Let us know what we can do for you. Let us know if you have any questions for Brenda. I just want to remind you as well, next week we do have our Q&A call. We do that once a month in this group. You have the opportunity to submit your questions and I will answer as many as I can live in our Q&A call. So we'll meet back here, same time next week, same day, same place. Submit your questions. If you don't know where to do that, please just let one of my team members know, Kathy or Valentina. They'll help you out. And again, if you need any more info on the membership, we are here for you. All right, Brenda, thanks so much. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day, and we will see you
Bye.
next week, everyone. Bye.